What up, family? What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to the Father to Father podcast, where we take deep dives into fatherhood through meaningful conversation. Me and my pop are your hosts, and each episode we'll get into the role men play as fathers. Whether you're a single dad, co-parenting, or going through the court system, you're in the right place to get new perspectives and stories. So join us on this journey, and let's discuss what makes fatherhood so rewarding.
We are back with another episode of Father to Father podcast. You got your co-host here. I'm Monty.
And I'm Greg.
Welcome back. Appreciate y'all for joining us. Keep liking and subscribing. The more y'all interact with us, the more we'll do this. We appreciate everything. Pop, how you feeling?
Feeling great.
Same here. Like I said, we got a good one for us today, fellas. We're gonna talk about the importance of picking the right attorney for you and your situation, regardless of whether, however you may be going through it. We just want to make sure you're going on the right path. What you want to start us off with today, Pop?
Working with your attorney or your lawyer, you make sure you have your evidence together.
Yes.
When you're going in, have your evidence together and have an understanding of how your lawyer prefers to receive this information that you're bringing.
Very important. Don't overwhelm them at once. Just throwing it all at them. I've done this same thing. Like I said, I was so upset with my situation. When I found them, I was like, here, take it all. Use it now. You don't want to take that approach. It's a process.
And then you need to work with your attorney.
Yes.
And it requires for you to have an understanding of what information that you want to provide to your lawyer.
Yeah.
And what information should be held back until it can be all put together in one picture.
Yes.
So you don't want to overwhelm your lawyer with just dumping papers down.
Yeah. And to piggyback on that, like it's real important, like you said, to what you turn in and when you turn it in. I said, because if you know, like I said, if it's something like simple as we argued over what kind of food we was gonna eat at dinner or whatever the case may be, you don't want to turn stuff like that in. Just try to keep it pertaining to you and your kids, or if you just got one child or multiple kids, just try to keep it pertaining to that. You don't want anything outside, don't matter. Just try to keep that tucked in, because you don't want to turn it into a mudslinging contest. Just keep the facts to facts and just process it. Process a step at a time.
And on your first visit or consultation with your lawyer, it's important that you determine if they are good for you. Yes. Is this the right lawyer for you?
Yes.
Determine if he's good enough for you, or the right one that will be able to handle your case, your particular case. Because all cases are different.
Every single one of them.
Everything is different. So you want to have some important items that you should prepare for this first meeting. Some things that you should have when you're going in for your first initial consultation with him. You should have a summary of your circumstances and events.
Yep.
What led to child custody.
Yep. What led up to me needing to reach out to you. Pretty much.
Have this.
Yep.
First thing. Any separation agreements or court orders. If you've already had something with your partner or your spouse, some kind of agreement or court order, bring that.
It's important to document everything, especially if you're going through with an attorney or lawyer, whatever you choose to call him or her. It's important that you have this stuff. That's very important.
And also, you need to have in your head what type of outcome that you are expecting. What are you expected? Your preferred outcome. Do you want to try to get full custody, weekend visit, or every other weekend visit? You should have something in your head that you can tell your attorney what you're looking for at the end of the day.
Yes, and before we go further, let me just talk about your expectations. Don't expect too much, again, because unless you got your whoever you're disputing with, fellas, if you're going through with your baby mama, and unless she's like strung out on drugs, you could just forget about the 100% full custody. That's not gonna happen, especially not in this state of Illinois. They step you up, like I said, because I thought I was like, again, her mom's not bad and she wasn't strung out or it wasn't nothing like that. But I was so upset that I went for gusto first. I want 100%. And but you don't want to do that anyway because you don't want to rip their child away from their mom. Like, it's very important. But they step you up to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a little bit a step at a time. And the further along you go in this, the more time you get. And they see how you handle it on the visitations when you do get them and all of that. And they be like, okay, yeah, you could do this. Like I say, it's a process. So I don't want a lot of y'all, like, it's unless you know she's that far along where she can't take care of your child, don't expect 100% custody off the bat. You want to show the judge that you're willing to work with them. So, you know, try to step it up. Like you said, every other weekend, just go based off what your situation at home is, what you can do. Try to work it that way.
And once you decide on a lawyer or going in, you need to see what kind of experience that the lawyer had.
Yeah, you definitely. Like I said, again, you're not going to trial for murder, so you don't want a defense attorney. You want somebody that works in family court. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's what. Yeah, that's their field. So you want those kind. Again, not to say that a defense attorney or whatever kind of lawyers out there, a criminal lawyer, they don't know that. But again, that's not their field of expertise. And it may have been years before ahead of you that the last time that they had this kind of case. So they may not be updated on how the laws work now. You know what I'm saying? Again, try to find somebody in that family court circuit if you're looking for an attorney.
Yeah, that's special.
Yep.
He specializes. And then how available will he be to you?
Yeah, you're not the only person that they did. Again, thousands, if not millions, of men, not just in this state, but all across America, go to these people every single day and say, take me on as a client. Mm-hmm. So just keep that in mind, that you are not the only person that they're dealing with.
And then the other thing, and the last thing here you want to ask, how much is it going to cost?
Right.
What kind of fees do
think about that first before you, not necessarily with them, but what you're able to work with before you take it to them. But yeah, very important to know what their fee is and what you're willing to do. Some of them go about an hour. Some of them might give you a flat rate. It just find what works for you.
And you know your financial situation better than anyone else.
Yep. You know what you can do.
You know what you can pay and what you cannot pay.
Don't put and again, like I said, to a lot of us fellas, the money don't matter when they come to our kids. That's how I felt too. But you don't want to put yourself in a bind with a lawyer to where you can't afford to take care of home or your kids that you're trying to fight for, essentially. You know what I'm saying? And it could happen like that. I'm not saying they'll run you up on a fee. Again, like I said, because this is why it's important to choose the right one, because if you don't and you have to go back and get another one, they're going to charge you double to fix what you didn't get right the first time. So it's important to know what you can work with.
And if you had a time to gather this information before your initial visit to your lawyer, these additional documents or paper may assist a lawyer in understanding your situation.
Right.
And these are some things that I think that you may need. Your financial papers, such as tax returns, lots of major assets. If you have any major assets you want to take in there,
because they gonna look for it again. Once it gets to that point where if you get like child support, they're gonna look at these things. What do you own? Like you said, assets. Can this be like, you know what I'm saying? Like it goes into when they consider that number. I know in the state of Illinois they do mom's what she gets, mom's paycheck, dad's paycheck. They put those together and they take 10% of that, and that's what they stick you with the child support. So again, they look at all of this. You're asking, what do you make? And then they tally that all up.
And then, do you have any liabilities?
Yes. Which again, the common person has more liabilities than they have assets. So you want to think about that.
Okay. Then your employment information. If you're working, you need to take all that in. All this information, your lawyer needs to see all this.
Yes, absolutely. They're going to find it.
That would help him determine if he want to take it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. He's like, this is the working man. Like, and I'm not saying for anybody that don't have a job or is in between jobs, but they look at you a little different. because you're not employed. Like, so if he's not taking care of himself, how can we expect him to pay us on time? And then what he's fighting for, how can we expect him, if he has to pay child support, take care of his kids, how can we expect him to do that when he can't hold down a steady job?
Now you need to have a relationship timeline.
Yeah.
Again, that's going back to what was the word we use when you're writing things down? A journal.
Yes.
When you're journaling.
Yes.
What time you picked up your child, or write all this information, photos, all kind of things.
Yeah, I'm going through that a little bit right now, actually, because I got Ava yesterday, but the last few pickups, and particularly on the Tuesdays when I don't have her overnights, but her mom has been showing up later and later, and I get it. Like, I get, you know what I'm saying, you get off work and you go get her and all of these things. And I try to be fair. I'm not saying I give, like, I don't want to seem like I'm the ruler, but I try to give a grace period 5-10 minutes, because I know sometimes kids just be on their own timeline, and you're not going to get them in the car and all of that. But then when you show up 15 minutes late for a pickup, when you know you're already cutting into my time, because I drive 30 minutes from my pickup spot to come home. So, and I'm not a brute about it. I'm just like, hey, can you be here on time? Just cutting in my time. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, you want to try to be cordial about it, again, because like I almost lost my train of thought with where I was going with this. But she's been showing up later, so I had to reach out to Mark, say, what can we do? Like, what I'm saying, what how can I go about talking to her to get her to show up earlier? You know what I'm saying? Because again, I know my time is none of her concern, but it is my concern. So you know what I'm saying? I try to stay on top of that. That's the one. Again, not that I'm controlling, but that's the one little thing that I would wish would go a little better, was my pickups. For sure. And I keep track of that for sure.
Yeah. Okay, it's moving along here. Once you have, not what I want to say, retain. Once you have retained your lawyer, you should make sure you discuss the custody factors. Discuss your custody factors that are applicable to your case.
Right.
And if there are other parents pleading or counterclaims have been made, or filed, you need to check that out too. Is there any other parents pleadings? Or counterclaims have been made? Have they done something?
Yeah, this is how I'm glad you said that, because I found this out reaching out for an attorney. I called the Land of Lincoln, who is the representative of people in Illinois, and I called just to see, what direction should I go in, and they told me they couldn't help me, and I'm like, I was curious as to why. And then I get a letter in the mail, and they're representing my baby mama. So I was just like, we can't help you.
Can't help you.
So again, like you said,
on top.
You got to be on top of it. See if it's already claims out there against you. You have to do your due diligence, fellas. That's where we get caught up at a lot of times. It's just not taking that extra step to make sure that we got everything in order. Definitely do your due diligence.
Yeah, and let your lawyer know you will be collecting and organizing evidence around your case.
Yes.
Around your case, custody factor, and delivering it to them.
Yeah, and with that being said, they see you doing extra work outside of just letting them do the leg work, which is what you're supposed to do essentially, and you pay them for, so that you don't have to always have to have those conversations with the other attorney or the judge, or you know what I'm saying. You don't get caught up in the dirtiness of it, for lack of a better term, between the lawyers or whatever. You know what I'm saying? If they see you doing the work outside of that, then they go the extra mile for you. A judge see you taking that extra step, you look at you favorably when you get in the courtroom.
Right. And that evidence package.
Yep.
Basically, you should have some things in that. Relationship timeline, what you talk about, you record everything that what time you picked up, what time you dropped
Yep.
off, what you ate, where you went, all your activities. I drop off from school if they're school age. I pick them up.
Yep.
I take them to any games or events. Record this. Put this in your journal and witness worksheet. If you can get a witness, that help back you up and present on your behalf or witness.
I think that's what I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's what I'm dealing with now because she's starting to show up at drop-offs and pick-offs with somebody else in the car with her. Like I said, it don't have nothing that don't bother me because I'm not doing anything malicious or I'm out to get her because of what we're going through. And my interest is solely my daughter. Not to say that I don't care about her mom, but my interest is my daughter. So, You know what I'm saying? It doesn't bother me that she brings somebody else for a witness, again, because I'm not hostile. I'm cordial conversation. Hey, how you doing? How's she doing? Anything that I need to do? Anything like that? That's what I keep it to. Nothing else. Nothing extracurricular. Nothing else.
You have to cover yourself as well.
Yeah, again, that's what I said. And not that I've seen the person she's coming with and thought, oh, okay, this is what this is. I need to straighten up my behavior.
Right.
But again, like I'm not in that position anyway, so it doesn't bother me that you bring somebody else. But I think that's what that is. She wants a witness.
A witness, just in case.
Just in case.
And again, I had mentioned about having photos,
Mm-hmm.
which you said you were going to try to be doing. So take pictures.
Yeah, I definitely.
Pictures.
When that's what I was. When she shows up late, I again just snap where I'm sitting at the time. I take a picture of the clock, the time, and when she pulls up. You know what I'm saying? And I took that to my lawyer, just because my thing was not. Again, I don't. It does bother me because I have to drive 30 minutes to get home. But my whole thing is that you're cutting into that time for that. I only get 3 hours on Tuesday. And then you show up 15 minutes late. And then you say, oh, I got to run her to the bathroom. And that's another 5 to 10 minutes. And then you're playing this, oh, I love you, baby. And give me kisses game. and again, by the time that I'm leaving, it's already 30 minutes of my time. And I have 30 minutes to drive home. So that's an hour that I've already lost. So again, fellas, try to stay on top of it, record these things. And again, like I said, keep it cordial. If you could come to some agreement between y'all, like, hey, can you show up a little? Can you start trying to leave like maybe 5-10 minutes earlier on the drop-offs or something to try to work with? Again, if you can't work that out, then take it to the lawyer. That's what I did because I tried to, hey, you know what I'm saying, you cut into my time thing, and it just wasn't getting better. Now, it changed this last pickup, but only after I took what I had to my lawyer. So like I said, it's very important that you document these things.
Absolutely. And finally, the last thing I want to hit on before we shut down is if you selected or picked your good family law.
Yeah.
You got a good one. If you think it's good enough, chances are, like you mentioned this as well, Mike, they're not the only one, or only case.
If you got a good one, he booked up. He booked up. So practice patience with them. I'm glad you said that. Because I used to just call Mark like, hey, what's going on? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, have you heard anything? And we had probably been in court maybe a couple days prior to me calling. And then I'm calling the next week like, hey, why does it take 2 months for us to get another court date? Why can't we be right? Like, it's a process. And I only did that because I've never been in this situation before, having to go through a custody dispute. So I didn't understand the process. Now, after coming out on the other side of it, I take a step back and reflected, like maybe I could have been a little better as a client as opposed to being so pushy. But again, fellas, I was only for my daughter. Not that I was being rude, but I didn't understand that it was a process. It's not going to happen overnight. You're not going to be back in court next week. You know what I'm saying? With a ruling, like it just doesn't work like that.
And you should not expect your lawyer to remember the details of your case without a properly prepared evidence package.
No. Yeah, absolutely not. Especially when they take on so many clients. If you not staying on top of when you got to be in court or when you got a meeting with somebody or when you do get there, because I had to take a class like on parenting. Once you get in there, when you talk, you finally see a judge. They say, well, you got to pass this class. They go check on their computer logs. They can see when you signed in and you started testing and all of this stuff. If you're not on top of it, they not going. The man, he don't care. So why should I? Like you just throwing money away at that point. You know what I'm saying? Again, stay on top. A lawyer is supposed to know when they're supposed to be in court. They got records of that. But again, if you don't care, they're not going to care.
About it.
That's very important. You stay on time. Not that you got to be drill sergeant and hey, I want you to be there on time tomorrow. We got court. Like they know. But again, you supposed to know as well. You don't want a lawyer or a judge to call you and say, hey, where you at? You know we got a meeting today. Are you supposed to be on Zoom right now? Like, nah, you don't want that. You stay again because I wasn't getting papers. My anything that I had filed with the court, it was going straight to the lawyer's office. And for the longest time, I wasn't getting my court dates, and I missed one. And I called him and I was like, hey, like, why are they saying I missed this? And he was like, oh, I went. You don't have to worry about it. And I was like, no. You don't understand. I'm not paying you money to make this go away. Like, I want to be involved in my daughter's life. So if you could, whenever you get paperwork from them about a date for me, fax it over to me or send it to me. Have you call me and say, hey, be here at this time because I want to know. Not that I'm going to every court date, but every one that I am available to go, I'm going.
Okay. Now, viewers, I'm going to start with this. And in our next episode, I want to hit on a couple of areas about attorney communication tips.
Yeah.
Some tips on your lawyer communication. And do not withhold evidence. Withholding evidence.
Yeah, good and bad, fellas. Because again, we ain't perfect. I know out of frustration, you done said some things. You done called out a name, all kind of stuff. I get it. We are human. Right. But do not try to downplay your role in anything because it'll come out. Like I said, and again, everybody understands that these are the highest levels of emotions, especially when dealing with children. Like I said, names get called, things get said, we regret it later. Just do not try to downplay it. Because again, she know what you said and she gonna tell what you said. Right. So, you know what I'm saying? Just don't lie about it. Just keep it truthful. Like, yeah, I did say that. I was wrong. Admit you're wrong in it. We was arguing back and forth. Just keep it honest.
And be timely with the information.
Yes.
Be timely. We're gonna cover that in our next episode.
I'm all right with that, yeah.
One other thing I want to leave with you all. If you fail, FAIL, that means FAIL is the first attempt in learning. First attempt in learning. Fail, FAIL. So you keep going. And no, NO means what? Next opportunity.
Yes. Damn,
next
good. I like that.
Okay.
I like that.
All right.
That's pretty much what you got on your paper, Pop.
Right. That's about it. I wanted to cover today.
That's good. I like that. Did you have any personal experiences with when you was dealing with anything, going through?
I didn't have to go through the court system, other than yes, I did. I had a lawyer. But I didn't have any protests from your mom. You know, she was okay with everything.
I'm glad you said, because that's why we said this earlier. Every situation is different. So, you know what I'm saying? That's why I say don't have super high expectations, because then you get, when your expectations are this high and it don't go that way, it just sink you. And then you go into that depression state like it's not going your way. And that's the last place you want to be, fellas. You try to keep your spirits high. And again, don't expect too much. Just keep it even keel.
Yeah, I had to go to that class, take a class.
That's what now everything's online now. Like it's not going into I did the same thing.
Got the certificate.
That was a while ago too. I'm just seeing if you had any personal experience with dealing with anything as far as custody wise. We don't have to get into anything else as far as splitting goes like that. We just try to keep it custody for this one.
Well, we worked that out on well. You all was with me.
Yeah, no, very much so. And that's not to discredit my mom at all, but that it just is what it is. I was raised by this man right here. That's I credit him at every video y'all see. Y'all saying this is who you see today in front of you and me comes from his teachings. Very much so.
Good.
Anything you want to end us with, Pop?
That's about it, Monty, for the day. I can get rolling.
Yeah. Now, fellas, like I said before, man, y'all, you got any questions, anything, y'all suggestions, y'all topics y'all want to talk about? You want to shout out somebody, you know, some good dads out there that's not getting that recognition and you just want to put a little spotlight on them, feel free to hit me up. I do a quick little video like, hey, such and such, want to say you're doing good. It's hey, even if you want to do it, just hey, call a daddy and tell him, hey man, I like what you're doing. You're doing good, man. Keep, because you never know, he might need to hear that day. Right. Just that little bit might just take.
I'll be sending this out to people so they can see it, and I want you all to comment on it. Comment on it. Let us know where we can improve.
Yeah, like we say, all feedback is well. All feedback is well.
That feedback.
Yeah,
we might be helping someone.
Yep.
You never know.
Yes, absolutely. That will end it with. So that's what we got for y'all today, man. I appreciate y'all. Keep liking and subscribing. Tell a friend to tell a friend, and make sure you tell the people you love them, because that needs to be heard. And the way society is going today, and we got elections coming up, we ain't getting into politics, and you know how messy that is, man. Like I said, just tell the people you love them, man. Hold them close. I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good one. Peace.
Peace out.